The internet is a giant network. It connects billions of computers all over the world. Think of it like a massive web of roads. But instead of cars, these roads carry information. This information travels very fast, almost at the speed of light. It allows a person in Japan to talk to someone in Brazil instantly. It lets a student in India access a library in the United States. This connection is always on. It works day and night. It has changed how we live. It has changed how we work. It has changed how we play in ways we could not imagine just a few decades ago. It is one of the most important inventions in human history. Why does this matter so much? The internet is more than just technology. It is a place for sharing ideas. It is a tool for learning new things. It is a stage for creativity. It is a marketplace for business. Before the internet, sending a letter could take weeks. Getting news from another country was slow. Now, information spreads across the globe in seconds. We can see live events happening on the other side of the planet. We can order food. We can buy clothes. We can watch movies without leaving our homes. The internet puts the world at our fingertips, making it a smaller, more connected place for everyone. This vast network was not built by one person. It was created by many people working together over many years. It started as a small project for scientists and the military. They wanted a way to share information securely. They needed a system that could still work even if part of it was damaged. This idea of a strong, decentralized network was the seed from which the modern internet grew. It was a collaborative effort. Different teams in different places added their own pieces to the puzzle. Their combined work built the powerful tool we use every single day. One of these people was a man named Vannevar Bush. In 1945, he wrote about a device he called the Memex. He imagined it as a desk that could store books, records, communications. A user could quickly find any piece of information. More importantly, they could link different pieces of information together. This idea of linking documents was a seed for what would later become the World Wide Web. In the middle of the Cold War, the US military wanted a communication system that could survive an attack. A single central point was a weakness. If it was destroyed, the whole network would fail. They needed a decentralized network. Information could travel along many different paths. If one path was blocked, the information could simply find another way. The project was led by a man named Robert Taylor at ARPA. He was frustrated because he had 3 different computer terminals in his office. To use a different computer, he had to get up and move to a different terminal. He thought, this is silly, why can't we have one terminal that connects to all of them? At the University of California, Los Angeles, they installed the first node, a small computer called an Interface Message Processor, or IMP. A team led by Leonard Kleinrock was there. The second node was installed at the Stanford Research Institute. On October 29, 1969, they tried to send the first message. A student programmer named Charlie Klein at UCLA tried to type the word login to the computer at SRI. It was a simple but historic moment. Klein typed the letter L. The team at SRI confirmed over the phone that they received it. He then typed the letter O, but when he typed the letter G, the system crashed. The first message ever sent over this new network was LO. Ray Tomlinson was a programmer trying to let developers leave messages for each other. He looked at his keyboard for a symbol not used in names. He chose the @ symbol. At an address like user at hostname meant the user was at that computer. That simple choice created the email format we still use today, but email became the killer app. Suddenly, researchers could collaborate easily, they could ask questions, they could share drafts of papers, they could plan projects without waiting for the postal service. This was the start of online communities. Mailing lists appeared so groups could discuss topics like science fiction, computer programming. People who had never met could share ideas and form friendships. This human need to communicate would drive the internet's growth for decades to come. For many years, the internet remained a tool for academics and government researchers. It was powerful, but it was not easy to use. Finding information was honestly pretty difficult. You had to know the exact address of the computer you wanted to connect to. There was no simple way to browse from one document to another. A British computer scientist named Tim Berners-Lee wanted to change this. He was working at CERN in Switzerland. He saw thousands of researchers coming and going, and it was very hard for them to share their work. Berners-Lee had a vision. He imagined a system that would make information easily accessible to everyone. He wanted to combine the idea of the internet with the concept of hypertext. Hypertext is the idea of having links in a document that can take you directly to another document. He envisioned a universal space of information where documents were linked together, forming a giant web. A user could simply click on a link to jump from one piece of information to a related piece, no matter where in the world the information was stored. This would make navigating the internet simple and intuitive. Between 1989 and 1990, Berners-Lee invented the three fundamental technologies that became the foundation of the World Wide Web. First, he created HTML, or Hypertext Markup Language. Second, he created the URL, the address system for every page on the web. Third, he created HTTP, the rules that let a browser request a page from a server. He put all these pieces together to build his system. In 1991, Berners-Lee launched the world's first website. It was a simple page that explained what the World Wide Web was and how to use it. Crucially, he and CERN decided to make the technology available to everyone for free. They did not patent it or charge money for it. This was a critical decision. It meant that anyone, anywhere could build a website or create a web browser without asking for permission or paying a fee. This open and generous act allowed the web to grow at an explosive rate. The first browser to achieve widespread popularity was called Mosaic. It was released in 1993 by a team of students at the University of Illinois. It was the first browser to display images directly on the page with the text. Before Mosaic, you had to click a link to view an image in a separate window. Mosaic made web pages look more like magazine pages, making them much more engaging and visually appealing. It also had a simple graphical interface with buttons: back, forward, reload. This made navigating the web incredibly easy, even for people who were not computer experts. The leader of the Mosaic team was a young student named Mark Andreessen. After graduating, he co-founded a company called Netscape. In 1994, they released the Netscape Navigator browser. Netscape Navigator spread like wildfire. It was fast, reliable, available for different operating systems: Windows, Mac. The rise of Netscape caught the attention of Microsoft, the world's biggest software company at the time. Microsoft quickly realized the importance of the internet and released its own browser, Internet Explorer. This started the browser wars. Microsoft bundled Internet Explorer with its Windows operating system, which was on most personal computers. This gave it a huge advantage. While Netscape eventually lost the war, the competition was good for users. Both companies raced to add new features to their browsers, making the web more powerful and interactive. For a long time, connecting to the internet meant being tied down by a cable. Computers had to be plugged into a phone line or a network port in the wall. This limited where and how people could access the growing online world. You could not easily use your computer in the garden or at a coffee shop, but inventors were already dreaming of a way to connect to the network wirelessly. The idea was to use radio waves to transmit data, just like a radio station transmits music. This would free people from the tyranny of cables and allow for true mobility. The technology that made this possible is now known as Wi-Fi. Its origins can be traced back to a surprising place, a 1990s ruling by the U.S. Federal Communications Commission, or FCC. The FCC set aside specific radio frequencies for unlicensed use. This meant that companies could build devices that used these frequencies without needing to buy an expensive license. Several companies started developing wireless networking technology. One of the key contributions came from a team of engineers at CSIRO, a government research agency in Australia, led by Dr. John O'Sullivan. They developed a key patent that helped make wireless LANs more reliable. In 1997, a committee was formed to create a single, unified standard for wireless networking. They wanted to make sure that a wireless device from one company could talk to a wireless device from another company. This standard was called 802.11. At first, the name was not very catchy. In 1999, a brand consulting firm was hired to come up with a more consumer-friendly name. They created the name Wi-Fi, which was a play on hi-fi or high fidelity, used for audio equipment. In the early and mid-1990s, getting online from home was a noisy and slow process. The modem connected your computer to your regular telephone line. You would hear a series of connection sounds, squeals, beeps, static. It was a sound that an entire generation remembers. While online, you could not use your home phone. If someone called, you might get disconnected. The speed of dial-up was a major limitation. It was very slow. Downloading a single song could take 10 to 15 minutes. Watching a video was impossible. Web pages with lots of images would load line by line, slowly appearing on the screen. Despite these frustrations, millions of people signed up with ISPs like America Online. AOL made it easy for beginners to get online. The demand for a faster, better internet experience was huge. This led to the development of broadband internet. Broadband technologies offered connections that were much faster and always on. DSL cable internet DSL used existing copper telephone wires at higher frequency, so you could use phone and internet at the same time. Cable internet used the same coaxial cables that delivered television channels. These new technologies were a revolution. Suddenly, downloading a song took seconds, not minutes. The web became a richer, more visual place. This paved the way for services like YouTube, which launched in 2005. It also made online gaming a reality. It also made video conferencing a reality. It also made streaming movies a reality. Today, on September 3, 2025, the internet is more than just a network of computers. It is the central nervous system of our modern world. It has fundamentally changed almost every aspect of daily life. We communicate instantly with friends and family across the globe using social media apps like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We work remotely, collaborating with colleagues in different cities and countries. We learn through online courses and have access to nearly all of human knowledge through search engines like Google. We shop for groceries, clothes, electronics online, and have them delivered to our door. The journey from ARPANET's first LO message to the endless scroll of a TikTok feed is staggering. The core principles, however, remain the same. The internet is still a decentralized network built on open standards. The dream of JCR Licklider for a network that empowers people through communication and access to information has been realized on a scale he likely never imagined. The collaborative spirit of the early pioneers like Tim Berners-Lee, who gave the web away for free, created the foundation for the vibrant and sometimes chaotic digital world we inhabit today. It is a testament to the power of shared innovation. This incredible tool has brought immense benefits. It has democratized information, giving a voice to people who were previously unheard. It has created new industries and millions of jobs. It has fostered global communities based on shared interests, from hobbies to activism. However, this new world also brings new challenges. We now face issues like misinformation privacy, concerns digital addiction, and the digital divide, the gap between those who have access to the internet and those who do not. Navigating these challenges is the great task for our generation and the next. The story of the internet is not over. It is still being written every day. New technologies like artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, where everyday objects are connected to the network, and faster mobile networks like 5G and 6G, will continue to change how we interact with the digital world. The internet's epic journey is a powerful reminder that technology is shaped by human needs and values. The desire to connect, to share, to learn, and to create is what built the internet. It is this same human spirit that will guide its future, hopefully toward a more connected, informed, and better world for all.